First, I'm going to download a copy of the simple sample OAuth app from GitHub. Now I need to give my app a unique name. This is going to be part of the web app URL. And I need to specify that name in 3 files, the manifest.yml file, package.json, and package.lock.json. Let's have a quick walkthrough of the code. There are 4 routines we need to look at. First, there's the main endpoint for the web app. For a real production solution, you'd want to implement your own security so that only members of your team can get to this endpoint. But anyway, the logic here is look in the cookies for an access token or an error. If there is no access token or error in the cookies, that means we haven't authorized yet, so we need to go through the process. If we look at the code for doing that, you can see a redirect here to the MURAL OAuth page as given in the MURAL API documentation. And you can see the necessary query parameters are passed too, such as the client ID and the scopes that we want to authorize for. We're going to talk more about scopes in a minute. After someone authenticates with MURAL, MURAL sends that person back to this endpoint in our app. You'll see in a moment how MURAL knows how to do that. Our app looks for a code in the query parameters from MURAL. Then our app takes that code and calls a MURAL API to exchange that code for an access token. Here's some error handling, but if everything is good, we return an empty error string, an access token, and a refresh token. The app puts those in cookies and sends users right back to where they started at the main landing page of our web app. This time, because there is an access token in the cookies, we display a simple page that shows the access token and refresh token, or an error message if there is one. Okay, so now I'm going to log into IBM Cloud. You could deploy the app somewhere else, but that's where I'm going to put it. I need to configure my resource group, my org, and my space, and now I can deploy the app. Now that the app is deployed, I'm going to register a new app in the My Apps page in MURAL. For the redirect URL, I need to specify the endpoint that handles the response from MURAL. Remember we looked at that a minute ago? Once your app is registered with MURAL, MURAL gives you a client ID and a client secret. I need to copy these and set environment variables for my app in IBM Cloud. You can see here in the code where these environment variables are used. And the redirect URL is an environment variable 2 for this sample, so I'll get that. Back in the My Apps page in MURAL, there's one more thing we need to do, and that's to tell MURAL the scopes that the app should get. By default, you don't get MURALs right, but in our sample, we're asking for that. So I'm going to check that box so our app can request a token with that scope. Now for the big moment, I'm going to click this link to go to my web app. If all goes well, I'll be redirected to MURAL. Yes, and then MURAL should redirect me back to my web app, which should get an access token and display it to me, just like we saw in the code a minute ago. Success.